On behalf of the PDGA, welcome to online coverage of the final round of the 2013 Discraft Great Lakes Open. There are 4 divisions wrapping up competition today, and we got some footage of each at various points around the course. The 50 and older set are represented here at the Toboggan in the Grandmasters division. Teeing off bright and early this morning, 6 guys were still in the hunt, 5 or fewer throws off the lead. Canadian Mike Sullivan led the charge after a pair of even par 62s.
Nice bid by Mike Sullivan.
Mike Cloyes sat 2 behind Sullivan. In third lurked local hero Mark Ellis, 3 back.
Yeah.
Then came a trio of fellows 5 behind, Darren Harper, Mike Frame, and another Canadian, Robert Dr. Z. Martinek. The big wins were not kind to any of the trio at +5. Dr. Z ended up in 7th with a 66.
Dr. Z catches a late branch.
Darren Harper finished 1 ahead to claim 6th. Mike Frame hung on to 5th. Scott Papa jumped into 4th place money with a final round 58.
That's the way to throw the turn on it.
Mark Ellis beat Papa by 1 and finished 1 out of 2nd in this tightly packed race.
Works the inside root a bit. Nice.
He made a nice deuce here on 16.
Drains it.
Dropping to 2nd with a final round 64 was Michael Sullivan. The 2013 Discraft Great Lakes Open Grandmasters champion was Michael Cloyes, who fashioned a solid 59 to register the win.
That's the tee shot here on hole 16 at the Toboggan course.
Next to come along were the men's Masters division, where there were 8 players within 8 throws of the lead.
Nice putt from Kirk Hagedorn.
Leading the way through 2 rounds was Phil Arthur at -10, including a second round 55, -7. John Baldwin was only 3 back at 7 under. After that, players were stair-stepped, 1 throw behind the other. Pat Bowman sat in 3rd. Kirk Luna Hagedorn rounded out the top card in 4th. Marty Peters leads the second card at -4. George Smith was another back at -3. Jay Redding and Bert Brader were joint 7th, 8 behind Phil. Big movers during the final round included George Smith going up.
There it is.
Here's George on 14. George spun a sweet 57 to take 3rd place.
George Smith had just a little window to work with and made it happen.
Heading down was Jeff Bauman, who dropped down to finish 6th, tied with Jay.
Hagedorn's got the tee. That's what we like to see. Like those locals to have a chance.
Luna and Marty
Right.
Peters finished tied for 4th.
Center cut for Luna.
The leaders were both secure in their positions. John Baldwin continued his steady play with a 59.
Catches the right-hand side. Did not kick out.
This year's Discraft Great Lakes Open champion in the Masters division was Phil Arthur, who doubled his lead in the final round by posting a -6,
Okay.
56.
That went somewhere on the left side.
We caught up with the Open Women's lead card putting out on the 12th. Paige Pierce and Sarah Holcomb were deadlocked after matching scores both earlier rounds. Katrina Ulibarri was 5 back, and Des Redding trailed by 11, so barring disaster, it was essentially a 2-player battle for the title. Teeing off on the 13th, Sarah has a slim 1-throw lead on Paige. The basket on this one is way up the hill, tucked in the back on the left. It turns out catching the gals here was quite lucky and a pivotal point in the round. It's a good time to point out that viewers who want to follow action at National Tour events as they unfold can visit pdga.com for live scoring updates all weekend long. Hole-by-hole scoring for lead groups and Twitter updates from the course are a great substitute for being there. Plus, there are fewer giant hills to walk up. Sarah and Paige have been close all round, neither able to forge a lasting lead. Sarah got into some trouble left and rolled to more trouble on the right. Now she's looking at a 5. Paige can flip-flop with Sarah for the lead if she makes her 3 here. That'll do it, and there's your new leader. Sarah's bogey 5 and Paige's birdie 3 will be a 2-throw swing, so Paige takes the tee on the 11th, 1 up. Like so many holes here, this one is blind for the throwers. Spotters are on duty to help keep things moving along.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Beautiful. Good shot. See where we landed.
Basket.
Paige was in trouble off the tee and is still in grim shape after 2. She's over where we saw George Smith make his putt earlier. Sarah can make this one to reverse the flip-flop and regain her lead. Solid. Sarah's back up by 1.
For Sarah Holcomb.
PDGA.com online scoring shows they matched pars on the next 3 holes. We were there as the gals took the tee on the 18th, their final hole of the tournament. Sarah is still up by 1. Paige needs to gain a throw on Sarah one way or another to force sudden death. Sarah can ice the match with a par 3. All she needs to do is get up and down. Sarah's putt went sour despite hitting the sweet spot.
Oh my goodness, that was pure blow through. Holy cow.
That throws the match back into Paige's hands. Paige to force sudden death. No dice. That makes Sarah Holcomb the 2013 Discraft Great Lakes Open Women's Champion. Well done, Sarah.
Just a good putt to Sarah on the red line. Who wants to lose on a putt like that?
The men's open division has been owned by Ricky Wysocki, who set a record the first round and beat that score the following round. His opening drive today lets everyone else know he's going nowhere. Double G, Garrett Guthrie, sits 6 behind Wysocki. Paul Macbeth put together a pair of 55s to sit 9 back at -14. Also sitting at minus 14 is Will Schusterick.
Some more. Oh, yeah.
That was the fancy mowing. Ricky starts his round out with a nice 2 here and number 1 in the toboggan.
We didn't follow the lead cart up the hill on the huge second hole. Double G wowed the crowd with his extraordinary power.
Counts as a rip.
We did catch these guys coming down the hill on the third. Garrett and McBeast found their way into the trees on the right side.
Wait for that spotter. Oh, yeah.
Shot by Will. Right there. Trouble with his footing.
No signs of cracking for Ricky. We scooted ahead to the 10th and watched some top cards come through. Quite a few players made deuces.
That'll do it.
Paul Ulibarri made a nice deuce on number 10.
He's trying to fool us.
Jeff Bennett fought through the trees and had a tough putt. He'll finish tied for 13th.
Nice.
Jared Rowan had a hot 54 to finish tied for 10th. Jeremy Colling was Sunday's biggest mover, jumping a bunch of guys with a record-tying 50 to close. Nice shooting, Jerem.
Should be just a hyzer for him. There's 2 here, number 10 for Devin Owen. Nico's in good shape. Ooh, that's deep. Two for Paul Macbeth. Is that Paul? Putting uphill into the wind.
As you might expect, the top card did pretty well on this hole, one of the shorter ones out here. Still, Ricky remains in the driver's seat.
And that's 2 for Ricky. 3 out of 4 ain't bad.
We checked in on the leaders a few holes later. Let's watch them boom some drives up the hill on 13. You can check pdga.com for the full results and other tournament information. When all was said and done, Cale Leviska finished up in 8th place. Matt Oram joined Big Germ in a tie for 6th. Paul Macbeth finished in 5th after his 3rd straight 55. Way to be consistent, Paul. Sitting joint 3rd at the end were Devin Owens and Will Schusterick, who both closed with 54s. And hanging on to 2nd by 1 throw was Garrett Guthrie, who shot 56 today. With his weakest round of the weekend, only a 53, Ricky Wysocki hardly worked up a sweat to claim the 2013 Discraft Great Lakes Open title. Great shooting, Ricky.
Ricky made
Thanks for
his
tuning in,
30
and
up
thanks to the
there.
PDJ for supporting this online video presentation.